Hello, so we'll speak about the game a few minutes and then we'll play a little bit and then we'll speak a little more. Now, I don't want to spoil anything major, but I'll just say some things that are very important for the review. Now, first of all, the game is kind of short. You will only need about 20 hours to finish it on the hardest difficulty, 10 to 12 on normal difficulty, and maybe 6 to 7 to 8 on novice difficulty. The game is a 7 out of 10. It's not worth its asking price. You should not pay 50 euros for this game. It's about a 30-35 euro game. The game is also super linear. You'll not believe how linear the game is. You'll just travel from one point to the other. You'll be teleported from level to level. It's chapter based, it's not map based. You don't really have a headquarters. You don't really have a way to, I don't know, improve or research new gear. You'll just level up, get some perk points. You'll also get some money during the missions, with which you can buy upgrades. But the upgrades are very slow to kind of come into effect, so you'll basically be upgrading your character slowly, and then suddenly, wow, he's very strong. And then you'll face another type of enemy which will be stronger than you, and you need to do that thing again. Sadly, the game has a few issues with replayability because it's, I don't know, it's not very diverse in terms of combat. The game will put you into a pit and it will just throw a lot of enemies at you. Sometimes you need to shoot some enemies on the high ground and they will throw bombs or shoot you back, I don't know. There's also a problem with the bestiary or the enemy types. For example, you'll fight the same vampire you fight in the first part of the game maybe 10 times. Yeah. Because there are repeating enemies that will have increased stats the more you advance into the game, and at some point you'll even fight 3 of them or even 4 of them, and some enemies have a lot of invulnerability. Some enemies are straight up invulnerable if you don't do something. Some have a big shield that you have to destroy. So it's going to be a lot of waiting in the fighting game. And most of your deaths will be because you don't see a corner. You cannot see your feet, so you'll get stuck on something. You'll not see an enemy behind you attack you and stuff like that. The game has also New Game Plus and multiplayer. On multiplayer, only the host keeps its progress, but not the friend who joins you, so it's only friend-based, invitation-based. I almost give the game a negative review just because of how it ends. So all of this build-up, all of this just leads to nothing. The end of the game is just nothing because all of the big plans are just invading the capital. Which is weird because why would you do that? That seems like the weirdest thing to do. Okay, let's continue and then we'll speak more about the game. But that was basically the entire review, and now
Since the time of the founding fathers, dark forces have been preying on America. As the fight against these vampires continued, a secret organization has trained people with remarkable skills. The agent's duty is to protect ordinary people from the forces of evil.
The artwork is amazing in this game. So the artwork is 11 out of 10, the gameplay is 6 out of 10, the story is 5 out of 10. The sound is pretty decent, but nothing spectacular. The story, like I said, I don't know. The artwork just carries the entire game, which is a shame, because the setting is very cool for this.
While we're on the dynamite, Chester will be none too chatty with his guts sprayed all over a train carriage.
I know how to shape an explosion, Edgar.
He doesn't.
It's coming. Wait for it. Now!
Harrow's not gonna be happy about the bridge.
Arrow can suck my dick. He's the Secretary of War, not the Secretary of Bridges. Let's go have a look-see. I go high.
So that's the introduction to the game. Now about the characters themselves. Well, this guy is not very... By the way, this is a new game plus, so you will not have glowing stuff on you when you start the game normally. And over here, as you can see, 16 chapters, and on New Game Plus you can pick up the things you missed the first time. And also now, they added the possibility to replay the mission. When I finished it, they didn't have it. So what's the problem with this? What about the characters? This guy is very boring with father issues, and he looks very cool, but there's a lot of work that has gone into his suit, but not his personality. And the view is just amazing. You'll see a lot of things like this. And you'll see so many... I don't know. 11 out of 10 for the art team. So this guy doesn't have much of a personality. You never understand his reasons. You don't really like him because he just wants to be a field agent, which is not exactly what you'd expect of him. He's supposed to inherit the entire institute. He could even be part of the government, but he refuses. And the game doesn't really give you any reasons for this. He just seems very unhappy. You can read some of the lore over here, and I don't know, this doesn't feel like a main character to me. He feels like a secondary character at best. This is our father. He's a very good character. He has a nice design. You'll like him. He barely appears in the game. I don't know why he's a character. And this is the strong woman. Very gracious, very smart. Can do anything. She's a scientist. She is a warrior. She kills the vampires as well. She does everything you need to do. The problem is that she comes off very... I don't know. What was that word? Mary Sue? She seems like she's capable of too much, too fast, and I don't know. They just put her on a pedestal. And this is... Okay, I have a problem with this guy. For example, he's supposed to be this very cool guy, a warrior or something. He's built like Liu Kang from Mortal Kombat, but he has the tattoo of Nikola Tesla, but he admires Edison. So why? I guess the artwork team, like I said, was not part of the storytelling team. And that, I don't know why I caught that so much, but why would he have a tattoo of Nikola Tesla and then say he likes Edison because of what happened between them? And this is an alternative universe. Maybe here it was different. And then you have this guy. This guy is the best character in the game. He does have a little bit of a potty mouth. He speaks very badly. But at the same time, you kind of like him because he has some really funny lines. Whoever wrote the dialogue for him is great. But that's the only thing I like about it. William Rentier and James Harrow. These are the only two characters that I like in the game, and they're the bad guys. You barely see the other characters, including the president. You barely see that guy as well. You barely see... Yeah. This is the main antagonist of the game. Does she look scary? No, she's a big monster. Do you want... Forgettable characters, that's what I mean. He barely appears in the game as well. You just speak to his head. Now let's look a bit at the enemies. I'll just quickly go over them. And they do exactly what you expect to do. This guy will fight so many times, you'll get so bored of him. He's very tanky. That guy's not so bad. And then you have the monsters. A bee that shoots a projectile. Kind of like a swarmer type of enemy, not very strong. Werewolves, very strong, a lot of health, very dangerous. This is the most annoying enemy in the game. I will not even speak about it. He can make the enemies immune to damage, and himself as well. Goro. Such an easy creature to kill. Stalker, a bit harder to kill. He's basically another werewolf. It's almost the same model, except for slightly bigger limbs. And of course the spider webs. The Gaster. This is one of the coolest enemy designs in the game. You don't see him very much, but I like him. I like him a lot. Familiars. These are basically human bandits. Bosses. So 4 bosses, yeah. Brooch. William Remtier Yeah, spoiler. And this is the final form or the true form of Felicity. She experimented again. Not many of these things are really detailed in the game itself, so you'll have to see what happens.
Nah, it's not that bad. Gotta be careful.
So the time between combat is basically wasted with stuff like this. I don't showcase the gameplay too much because I think it will be a mistake. A lot of people will love the gameplay, but if they see what's behind the gameplay, they'll not like the game so much. So I'm not trying to bring the game down, I'm not trying to say it's bad or anything, but I'm just trying to show that it does have some problems. And it could use a little more.
I'll take that.
Also, I want to look at this. So you get... Oh, I guess only if you collect the one, if you get the ones that you didn't get, it will update.
What's that sound? Stop whining! Start moving! You smell that? Shit! It's gonna...
Yeah, you're not really going to do a lot of this in the beginning. But that's the combat, and... Okay, let's speak a little bit about the combat. That's the point of the review, not to... If you want to see a trailer, go watch a trailer. The upgrade system. So the upgrade system is pretty easy. You will find some weapons and devices along your way, and then you can upgrade them by either finding chests or just leveling up. What's the problem with this system? The problem with this system is that most of them are very, very inconsequential. For example, the Rentier revolver. Mid-air shot. You'll not hit the enemies in the air a lot of times. One more bullet. This is actually very good. And blaster. Basically electric pistol. Super, super good. And agent tools. Do not disturb. Healing invulnerability. Then you have something like this. 20% longer, which is basically a little 1 second more. Or this one, amp snack. You can use your energy to heal, which is not really worth it. And then you'll get the crossbow, and the crossbow will compete with the rifle, and you'll get one upgrade for the rifle, and then... I don't know, you don't really have a lot of choices over here. The rifle will be better unless you can get all of the upgrades for the crossbow. It will be the amped one. This one is not very strong. I also had a lot of problems with the rifle hitting the weak spots. Gatling. I guess it shows what it does, so I don't need to show it in the game. Invulnerable to damage, fire and forget, 20% more ammunition. The death ray. Now this is very interesting. The boomstick. Again, the upgrades don't really matter that much. So situational. Okay, the Scorcher is the best weapon to showcase that has a lot of situational upgrades. More range. More melee damage if they are burning. Burning enemies deal splash damage upon death. Can be good, but that's not how you'll use it. And then the explosive bundle, which is basically a grenade, sticky grenade, triple charges, and then lightning tornado. Which doesn't really do that much damage, it just hinders your screen and you cannot see what's happening. This is just to punch more and faster. Again, with the mid-air stuff, which I don't really like, you'll not even play with this. The overcharge ability is the best one and you'll not want to spend energy on anything else. Quake punch, aftershock, final thought, again, not really worth it. Because you'll use up your energy. You'll also not be using that blast shot a lot of times because you'll get hit. You can get hit a lot of times by doing this, especially by projectiles. So I got these things which are basically improving your survivability. And these you can find, the rock ones you can find in the secret crates, and then you can use your perk points to unlock them. But some of them are a trap. Look at this. What do you mean an energy pickup is turned into a health pickup? That would be very bad if that happens, because you cannot use your ultimate ability, which is this one. Not that one. Oh, it's this one, supercharge mode. basically are supercharged and will attack with punches. You'll basically be flying around and attack with a lot of damage. And then you have this upgrade over here, which basically costs 1 more energy, which is again like a trap because you don't really need the lightning. Then deflect bullets. I don't know, some of these are very weird because not deflect bullets, deflect the exploding things like that. And then you have this one. The zapper slowly drains your health for energy. Again, not very much worth it. And that's what the problem is. For example, the only significant upgrades are... And this is not even that good, to be honest. The only significant upgrades are the blaster, the not disturb one over here, and for the rifle, I think is this one. Hitting a weak spot now restores a bullet spent on it. You don't have to reload, you don't have ammo. This one is not so good unless you get all of it. I think the crossbow is a little better than the rifle in many ways because it just fires faster. And it has double the ammo capacity, so yeah, especially when you get this one. And damage them constantly for a short while as opposed to this one. I really wish we had numbers. The ray basically is 4 times the damage. The Gatling again, it's very hard to compare these weapons, but a major upgrade will be when you get a fully upgraded weapon, one of these two, and then when you get the Gatling gun and have the... When you get the Gatling gun, those are not even that important. The shotgun 20% faster cooldown is a big improvement when you get the Scorcher as it is, and then when you get most of the improvements for the grenades. And that's kind of it. Now let's do some combat. So shock them. Shotgun. You can also detonate them manually. And this is how you're supposed to find the secrets. You're going to, you know, walk around, find the secrets, get the money. But they're very visible unless you are playing in the half part of the game. So I got everything. Well, a few money bags here and there are lost. Until this mission. This mission I lost 1 chest and then it goes very, very badly. Lighting in a bottle lost a chest. Old friends lost a chest there as well. In general, you'll be losing money and that will feel like you're losing very important upgrades. And as you can see, I lost 2 of them. Some of them are only cosmetic. From the chest, by the way.
All dead. Fuck. Boy, you better make all this worth our time, Chester.
So... Also the zapper. Okay, let me showcase more of the combat. I didn't really focus on the gameplay because, like I said, it's very deceiving if you show only the gameplay. Oh, the flamethrower, yeah. And that's basically all of your weapons, but as you can see, everything has a cooldown that is not restored during the story bits or the exploration part. So it only restores in combat itself, so... Sadly, this means most of the times you'll just have to wait until your... all of your cooldowns are ready for the next fight, so yeah. It's quite generous, the parry. Also, if you kill them while they are in this state with an electric stuff, you get energy. You can also shoot this and it will detonate because of my perks.
Gotta cross the river somehow. This would be a bad time for this thing to collapse.
Okay, let's do this combat because this is actually a little harder. And that's how you're supposed to use them, but you won't really use them like that, because the weaker enemies you can kill right away without any problems, and the stronger enemies you will have to, you know, dodge and attack with other things. So this is not really representative for the game itself. And sometimes this doesn't work. You can also throw the enemies off the ledge, in case you're wondering. But that's not really a mechanic you'll see too often, because most of the combat will take part in, like I said, these small arenas. And there they come, the big ones. And even on New Game Plus, you don't have a lot of health. Yeah.
Great, more ticks.
Looks like you could use a hand.
Now he's helping you, but again, he's just here to represent something. He's not really a character that has a story, a backstory, or something interesting to say. He's just there because he has to be there, because of reasons.
Wait for it.
He's a little lost, let me help you. What am I trying to do? Well, I'll show you. Well, you have to press Q and W. Bye. So I guess this is all I wanted to show you in the review, and to be honest, I think I'll play it again on New Game Plus just to showcase some of the stuff. Maybe I'll play it, I don't know. Maybe I'll play 3 or 4 chapters at a time, depends. I kind of liked the game after I finished it, if that makes any sense. It will still be very hard to finish some of the chapters, but again, it's a great visual experience, and that's how I leave the game. A great visual experience for maybe 30 euros in case you want to play a game in the Wild West, or a game that resembles Remnant from the Ashes, or a game that is similar to God of War. Other than that, it doesn't do anything special, and you probably will get bored of it because of the lack of real improvements over time. The progression is not so good, the story is not so good, the combat is not so good. Again, this is just for show and tell, you will really not use them. The NPCs are not very interesting. Yeah, I recommend you buy it at a discount, and you prepare yourself for what is coming, because again, this will not be a great experience. This will most likely be an interesting experience and a nice visual one, not a game you will remember, because for example, the only thing I remember from these chapters is how they look. The raid, that's from a temple, that's from a smashed rentier mansion with the air blimp. That's a small chapter. The Devil's Pass, remote eye outpost, yeah, this is what you remember from them. The way they look. Where blood tastes like oil, it's a very good visual experience, that one. Bats in the belfry. A man of people. Lighting in a bottle, yeah, that's exactly how it looks. All friends. A son's duty, the heist, and then the grand finale, which is basically, this is not even a chapter, you just get teleported into the fight itself. So not much I can say about that. Oh, actually, let me do one more fight. Let's see how fast we can do it. I want to use the minigun. Yeah.
Jesus. Christ. Worst damn barbecue ever.
Yeah, everything smells like blood in here. This is more representative to what the arenas will look like. And that's for cinematic purpose. You don't see a lot of cinematics or a lot of story elements or anything like that.
Now that's what I call a game changer.
Welcome to America, dipshit.
Yeah, that's how you welcome someone to America. cannonball mechanic is not really used, like I said. Even that doesn't kill basically the second enemy encounter in the game in a full attack. Yeah. So you'll feel underpowered most of the times. Oh, I forgot to show you the... Oh, okay. My bad.
I bet one good punch could get me through.
The supercharged mode. Sometimes you have to shoot something. Or do something like this. Yeah, there are also some problems with getting stuck in the textures. There will be problems with you not finding the right passageway, because even though it's lighted up like that, you'll still sometimes not see it, and that's about it. Cool, yes it is. Is it useful against the bosses? Yes it is. Sadly, this reduces the gameplay to cooldowns. So when you're fighting a boss or a bigger enemy, you'll have to, number one, look at your overcharge, number two, your stun, your X, and then maybe your explosive. Then maybe your flamethrower, then maybe your Gatling gun, I don't know, it's just a lot of waiting, so most of the fights will be over anyway. You don't even have to use your weapons that much, because you're just waiting for the cooldowns most of the times. Also, you get the supercharged a bit late into the game, and then you'll have problems using it because you don't have a lot of energy restoration. So if I was to replay the game again on evil difficulty from 0, I probably would finish it in 15 hours or something like that. Oh well, see you next time, bye.